Hiya! This video is going to be on about the specifics of the new Moontide Period Pants pattern, and I'm going to be answering some of the questions that have been asked about the pattern as well. So firstly, it is a digital pattern, so you'll need to be able to read a PDF file and print that off. If you have bought patterns from me before, you may have noticed that I do all my other patterns actually in a printed version, but this is the first pattern I'm not going to be doing that. I decided that it would be too much to print out, because I print out all the patterns myself at the moment, and I think it would be too much for me to print out and I'd have to raise the price. So I thought it'd be easier to just do the digital pattern. And what I've also included is an A0 file size as well. So if you don't have a printer, then you can get the A0 file printed off at printers, or you can project the pattern, which a lot of people are doing these days as well, to save paper, which is really good. So that's one of the new things that I've got with the pattern. So the pattern, the shape of the knicker is what I call a low hip, kind of bikini, kind of your classic general knicker shape, I'd say. And it comes in sizes 2XS to 4XL, and there will be a size expansion on that with the next update as well. So the pattern also includes the elastic cut guides. I know that's really helpful for some people, so you're not just kind of pulling your elastic willy-nilly, and you've got a bit of an idea. But I will just say, with the elastic cut guide, I mean, it is just a guide. This is based on the elastic that I use, with the same stretch percentage and stretch retention that I use. So it might not be exactly perfect if you're using a different elastic. I have actually got new resources on the website, on the blog, that explains about stretch percentage and stretch retention, as well as a stitch library and how to print your PDF pattern. So those are some new things that I'm gonna try and help you with on the website. If you need help with any other things as well, let me know, and then I can add those to the resources page. Yeah, so I think it's I've tried to do quite a thorough pattern. I always use photos when I'm showing how to do something. I personally think that works better for me. I know some people do prefer illustrations, but I don't mind doing CAD work, but I don't like doing a lot of it as well. So if I'm spending all day trying to do these illustrations that I really don't want to do, I'm not going to be in a very good mood. So I use photos, and I try and take them as clear as I can for people to see. And in this pattern, I've actually numbered the photos, so when you're reading the instructions, you can see it says number 6, so you look at where photo number 6 is, and then that will show exactly what I'm doing at that point. This was one thing that a pattern tester told me about, which I thought actually that's quite a good idea, because sometimes the photos, I don't necessarily show every single tiny little step, so that was actually quite good. So thank you to my pattern tester who said that. So the pattern also has 6 variations. So we've got the light, regular, heavy with wings, very heavy, and very heavy with wings. I did get a question about asking me about the wings and how they function. So usually when you get wings on pads, it's so that the pad attaches itself to the knicker. Well, when I was developing the Moontide Period Pants, I found, especially when I was lying on my side asleep, that I would leak at the side where the elastic is. So obviously gravity will be, you know, pulling the blood that way. So I kind of thought back to when I was younger, well, not when I was even younger, but I suppose it's more prominent when I was younger. I would always have to have the pads with wings, because I found the ones without, I would leak at the sides. So I kind of took that same idea and applied it to the knickers. I didn't know if it was going to work or not, and it did, and it works really well actually. And I've not leaked since I've created the knickers with the wings. So it's not necessarily, so the attachment isn't really a functional thing. You're not attaching it to anything. It just provides kind of the extra length, the extra width, sorry. And if it is going to go further, it's going to go on the absorbent layer, not on your pyjamas or whatever, which is what I found. And all my pattern testers who have tried the wings have found the same thing, that they've worked really well. One person said, she put them to the ultimate test and free bled in them overnight. She did the pyramid extra scraps of Zorb into the gusset for extra absorbency, something she always does to pads. So she laid up the Zorb as well, which I thought was a good idea. But I have never made it through the night without leaks, and I did. So yeah, that was really good to hear. So yeah, it's not just me that thinks the wings are good. It's also my pattern testers as well. So I'm really pleased that, you know, that's helped other people. So the next questions were on the kind of the wash and the wear of them. Now really, I'm not gonna say there's like one definite way of doing something, which there isn't with like sewing them up either, to be honest. But if you're living in a slightly different situation like I am, so I'm on a narrow bow, you might not have a washing machine like me. So because they need to be washed fairly soon after you've worn them, I would say within 12 hours. That's just a rough guide. But you wouldn't want to leave them too long. I hand wash them, so the way I do it is I rinse them through thoroughly, then I actually leave them in the sink with warm water for 10 minutes to 30 minutes, and that helps because the Zorb fabric absorbs so much. It's actually quite hard to rinse that out thoroughly, so that's why I put them in the sink for that long. And then afterwards I will then give them another wash with detergent, and then just hang them up to dry. I don't use conditioner. I recommend not using conditioner because that actually stops the absorbency as well. But yeah, so if you have a washing machine like most people do, it depends how much you've bled into them, I'd say. I mean, if there's quite a lot of blood on the knicker, then I would rinse first and then put in the washing machine. And maybe you would, I think if you would rinse them first, you could then put them with other clothes as well. But if there's just like a not too much on the knicker, then I would just shove them in the washing machine actually, because I don't really need to rinse them out when there's not really much on there. So it depends on your flow and your circumstance. So yeah, I think that's all the questions I had. I didn't have too many questions actually. So if you do have any more questions, then like I say, just put them in the comments. I am going to be doing a size expansion and a style expansion. A lot of you I know like higher knickers when on your period. Now I did plan to do this before I released the pattern, but honestly it took so long to kind of get the pattern perfect. I thought I just needed to get it out really. So that will be in the next update with the size expansion as well, and I'm thinking about it. I might even split the pattern 2 different sizes. I'm not sure how I'm going to work that yet, but so that's something that I'm going to be working on soon, so hopefully that won't take me too long to do. And also, yeah, so I have said that I am doing ready to wear and the period pant kits as well. I haven't spoken too much about that since the release, but I am going to be doing the kits. The fabric should be at the mailbox by now, so I can choose the different colours. So I might do a little poll on what colours you'd prefer as well, and then we can get going with the pre-orders. I will be pre-orders because the elastic that I will be supplying with the kits is very specific. Literally has taken me so long to get the right elastic at well, all right price, that has like the good kind of stretch retention and at the right width. It took me so long to find it, but I do have to order quite a bit, so I'm going to be doing pre-orders on that, and then I will order the elastic in. So yeah, so I think that's everything. So yeah, thanks for joining me again.